Welcome everyone. This is episode 11. Today we have Mason Galvao. Thank you for coming, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. So today we're going to be talking, of course, about real estate once again, what we love talking about. So thank you for coming, Mason, and we'll get started.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more about you before we get into it.
Yeah, so just to kind of give you a little bit of background about like my upbringing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm from Burlington.
Nice.
Originally grew up for up until grade 7 in Oakville.
Cool.
So I started boxing around the age of 4.
Nice.
Got competitive. That was
Nice.
like all I did.
Wow.
I had like kind of like an obsessive issue with that. Maybe my family was my family would get concerned. They're like,
shit.
oh my god, this kid's obsessed type of thing, because that's all I would ever do. Wake up.
It was your outlet. You're addicted to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was addicted to it. Try to always be the hardest worker in the room.
Yeah.
Eventually, I got on Team Canada for kickboxing.
Good for you.
Competed in a couple of different countries.
Wow.
Some high-level competitions and stuff like that.
Wow.
Then, after that, it was time for university. Didn't want to go. I was kind of lost, right? I was like, it's just not for me. School's never for me, right?
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
Decided not to go. Took a leave. COVID hit at that time.
Okay.
So now I was just trying to pick up the pieces, being like, okay, so what's gonna be next?
Yeah.
Ended up getting a front desk job at a barbershop I've been going to since grade 9.
Jeez.
And I always hit it off with the guys there. I was always like the boxer in the room type of thing, so they'd always hype me up for my fights and everything.
Yeah.
So started working there. Then I would be like watching how the guys would cut hair, stuff like that. Then eventually the boss was just like, do you want to just learn how to cut hair?
No way.
Never actually had an interest in it, but I was like, screw it, why not? I'll make more money. I'm still going to be in the same room, right?
Yeah, try an experience.
Exactly. So started doing it. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
Took me up to a couple months to get really busy. It was an extremely busy barbershop, so eventually I just started to get booked up all the time.
Wow.
So that's how I started to build some people skills. And
for sure.
Because
sales and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd have one like gangster walk into the building, or you would have one like an executive from for RBC, or for example, right? So I have so many different clienteles. I cut the owner of Extreme Pita, Mucho Burrito.
Oh, nice.
Like I cut some bigger names, which is awesome. Sure. So that's how I started to build how to build good conversation skills. Exactly, right? Yeah, exactly. So build confidence to a whole other level aside from just like doing sports.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Still boxing at the time, but just not as much. Okay. So barbering became my new obsession. But really, I thought it was barbering at the time that was an obsession, but what it was making money.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where I was like, fuck, like I need to make more money.
Yeah.
Like I just want to, like I want to get,
keep going.
I want to go big, right? Mm-hmm. And my dad's a realtor. He's been a realtor for about 4 years now.
Wow. Nice.
Before my family started in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
So even there, I was a waiter for a little bit, just doing events and everything like that. Cool. Exactly. So that was cool as well. Kind of like that white glove service.
Yeah.
As Nick Regina would say. So shout out to Nick.
For sure, Nick. Great guy.
So yeah, that's kind of how it started. Then he brought up the idea. I was already coming home after work, and I was like, I want more money. Like I need to figure out what's gonna be that next hustle. My dad was like, why don't you just explore real estate? Yeah. Never wanted to do it in the past, but I was like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't like something.
Yeah. I didn't want to piggyback off of something that anyone in my family was doing.
I get what you're saying.
Exactly. Right. But then
your own thing.
But then I was like, man, like just because he's doing it doesn't mean I can't do it and figure out my own route.
For sure.
Type of thing. So. Did the course, more COVID happened, so it was like lockdown every now and then.
Perfect time.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So it was like lockdowns, doing my course, or working at the barbershop when it was open, or doing cuts at home type of thing.
Damn, busy.
Got the course done in about like 8 to 10 months, I believe.
Okay, not bad.
Then I got right into it. So that was kind of cool.
Nice.
The rest is kind of history. The first 6 months is me sitting there twiddling my thumbs, listening to conversations in the room, trying to be like, hey, like, how do I get business?
Yeah.
I got right into the marketing, right into like just jumping to stuff in. Like, like if you look at my brand and everything, it's been very similar since I started.
Okay.
Before I was always a social media guy as well, just in the boxing realm and then in the barbering realm. So everything just transferred really well, which was pretty cool. And then I started to find a niche. I started to get a brand out there, and now people come to me because I'm a professional in the space and I provide a lot of value to my clients.
For sure. For sure. I've seen it, bro. Your videos are sick.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, so let's get into more about the real estate then. Yeah. So when you first started, you said 6 months, was it before?
Yeah, it was about 6 months before I got my first deal. Okay. I had some pre-construction stuff in the play, which was nice, but remember, for that I still haven't got paid. Like that stuff is gonna get paid about
takes time.
The fall of this year, so it's still a couple months out, right? So I was just there. I was like so stressed. I was like, how do I make something happen, right? So I was constantly in the office trying to figure out how to run my day-to-day business because my dad, he's a professional in the industry. He's amazing, and I learned a lot from him.
For sure.
But there's like he's going 0 to 100, and I'm just there at 0 trying to figure out how to get to 1.
Get to 1.
Exactly.
Before 100.
Exactly. Right. So So in that whole 6 months, I was figuring out what's the best way to do it. Reading a bunch of books, just trying to figure out the best way. I was talking to every top guy in every market type of thing, just trying to learn from them. Then just as of January 1st, I got a coach. So I had a real estate coach. She's like one of the best. Her name's Mason Galvao from Red Apple Coaching. Absolute beast. Like most of the top guys that I know go to her. Even Gary Keller gave her a shout out. Brought her up on stage. Said she's probably one of the best coaches in North America.
Wow.
And it's funny because my dad, he didn't want me to do coaching. He was like, you know, like because he's not one to do coaching as well. Me and him are basically the same person. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try it anyways. Since then, I noticed I've had a lot more systems in my business now. Everything I was trying to pick up the pieces for those first 6 months, it all came together because I understood exactly how to do it now.
Sure. You learned
from that mentorship, which is fantastic. And then, you know, I started to get into commercial a little bit because my dad's always, he's very big in commercial, especially on the land development side. So I was always hearing that conversation in the room while trying to figure out residential. And then eventually I got into commercial, knowing all that stuff that he's been talking about because I hear it every single day. And now the pieces are starting to fall together, which is cool.
That's awesome. So is there, from your experience hearing your dad and doing what you're doing, the commercial and the residential side, is there a lot that correlate or is it completely different in your eyes?
So the way my dad got into the commercial, which is how we kind of just got put into it, is we do a lot of luxury. We're very fortunate to be in that network and that sphere.
For sure.
So as we started to do luxury, what happened was some of those people say, oh, Walter, do you mind selling like my office building stuff? And that's how my dad got into it.
Nice.
So when he was getting into it, like that was all like the vocabulary I was hearing was like a vendor take back mortgage or
VTVs and stuff.
Or like zoning, bylaws, like all that type of stuff. And all in the off market realm. So it was just it seems so cool to me because that was like the cool kids club. Like what's happening over there.
Stuff.
Exactly. Like what are all these guys in suits and ties going over there at the table talking about some farmland, you know what I mean? So then it became like the new sexy thing for me. So once I got into it, I started connecting with the right people and just things kept happening to get into it.
For sure. That's awesome. It's great, especially at your age, bro. Come on.
It's good.
There's not a lot of people that could say at your age that they're doing that.
I'm fortunate to have good mentorship and then making a lot of friends in space to kind of help get me there as well.
100%. And so do you think now moving forward you would stay in that realm or what are you looking at?
My goal is by latest January, but maybe by the summer to not have to step into a house again.
For sure.
I only want to do land.
I would agree with you there, bro.
Exactly. That's just where my network's going. I'm actually going to be leaving my team and my brokerage. I'm going to be joining a brand new brokerage called City Block. The focus there is only land.
Nice.
And commercial.
Nice.
So I'll be one of the senior like executives there type of thing.
Cool.
And so it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be a powerhouse team there. We're gonna have an in-house developer, planner. So it's just gonna be your one-stop shop for land development.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so would you say, bro, like with this land development and stuff, do you see with the market the way it's going now, do you see that there's a lot of clients or people that have the demand for it right now, or do you think it's kind of on hold?
So things are picking up. Here's the thing: every developer is looking for a deal. So any land deal people want, like no one's just putting all their capital into it. So everyone wants a VTB, or they want to do a JV of some sort, or they want to get it at a stupid cheap price. But here's the thing: a lot of people are divesting their properties, right? So for example, I work with some private equity guys. So some of their clients are just dumping because some of them want to dump because A, they can't afford. Or B, for the guys that with a lot of money, they just want to liquidate some of their capital to put into other projects. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff out there. I'm noticing that in the land realm per se, a lot of people are buying up stuff because there's some good deals out there.
For sure. Especially now.
Exactly.
I think it's a great time to buy.
Exactly. And there's a lot of inventory in the off-market land space. A lot of it's overpriced, or a lot of it's been tainted with, meaning that it's just been shared to too many realtors, and then the project just kind of gets ruined, because once it gets to that level, like no one wants to buy it. Like there's endless projects I can tell you that I've seen that everyone else has seen. That just like that's why it's exactly that's why it's an insider's game. So if you're in that network and you're dealing with amazing projects that really are well priced and no one knows about, is within a certain network, like those are where the deals happen. It doesn't happen outside of that. And for sure. not the good deals anyways with the big guys, right?
For sure. And I think for someone at your age to be doing those type of deals, they definitely have to be someone that's trustworthy.
Exactly. You know, once you start talking the language and you're bringing the value to the table
and stuff.
Exactly. And I don't go there with like I don't go there without something. Like you don't see me
put someone on the table.
Like for example, I spoke to like the owner of Fieldgate last week. Super nice guy. Noam is his name. And his brother as well, Ezra. So with guys like that, for example, I don't go there just being like, hey, like, how's it going? Like, you have to go there with a purpose, right? You go there, you ask them what their goals and objectives are, and you go back to your drawing board and see where you can connect the dots, and then that's where stuff happens.
For sure.
Exactly.
Bring something to the table for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's smart. And so, your mentor, you said you have a coach in real estate. Now, is that also your mentor? Do you have someone outside of that kind of pushes you towards your whole goals?
Yeah, I'd say I got like 4 mentors that I'm on the phone with all the time. So one is my real estate coach, Marianne. The other one's my father. With the guy, right? So
of course.
Like it's an absolute blessing to have someone in your house to be watching with you, and like that's an amazing beast in the space.
For sure.
So he's probably the biggest one, 100%. And then after that, it's one of my partners, Vincent.
Nice.
I learned a lot from him, and then also a developer as well. His name's Pierce.
Cool.
So I get a lot of information from those guys. We circulate a lot of stuff from there, and
nice.
And we're trying to build something big.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think you have a really bright future just from this 20-minute conversation.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate it.
And so, tell me, I'm also someone looking to get into the real estate world. What would you say to someone who's a young person trying to get into real estate, or someone who's looking to invest? What is your number one advice you would give to them? Yeah,
so the first thing is be authentic. Like, we're young, right? Like, I'm 21, you're 18, you said. So if you go in there trying to act like something you're not, it's not going to work. But if you go in there like being yourself. But like having full confidence in your abilities and what you can do for that person across the desk, like that's where you're gonna do well. I spent so much of my time like worrying about my age and being like, no one's gonna trust me with this, no one's gonna trust me with that. I did an offer for 32 million yesterday.
Awesome.
Like biggest deal.
Congrats.
Like
congrats. That's insane.
And it blows my mind away. But then I look back and I'm like, well, it shouldn't blow my mind away if I'm bringing that value. If I'm the one who's like
you're worth it, bro. That's what you're doing.
Right? So be yourself. Have confidence and make sure you have the value for the person you're going to be talking to.
For sure.
Exactly.
That's great. That's awesome. And so, other than the deal you made yesterday, what's like one time when you got into the space and that really like stuck with you?
So I think it was when. So what really got me into this niche? So we have a client from Dubai. He's actually a friend of my uncle's.
Wow.
He's got land in St. Catharines. If anyone's interested, let me know what you can do. Mid-rise and also 4 semis.
Cool.
So with that one, we were trying to sell that one. I spoke to, now he's one of the guys I'm constantly on the phone with, one of my mentors, Vincent. I spoke to him. One of his clients were interested. That right there and then sparked something in me where it was like me and him were on the phone every day. Once we started talking about that one, we started talking about more. And then from there, just things started to spitball. So it was that moment where we were working on that project, and we were like this close to having a deal done.
Wow.
It was literally the deal broke over like
fell out.
It basically broke just over personalities, I guess you could say. Between certain parties and stuff. So it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But since I was so close to almost a $9 million deal, being young, I was like, okay, like if this one can happen, imagine what other ones can happen. And in my space, it's like 1 in 20 might happen. Like it's you're gonna throw all the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. Pretty much, right?
Exactly.
But if you do it properly, you can make a lot. Like if you
if you do well,
exactly,
you can make a lot.
100%.
That's awesome. And so
that was like the breaking point for me, where I was just like full on, like I think this is what I want to dabble with.
Yeah.
Still doing the residential on the side. Obviously I have to have those consistent
for sure,
like, you know, that consistent commissions coming in.
Yeah.
But another
going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But another side of that is I do enjoy it to a certain extent. I enjoy helping people and kind of showing them different routes to invest in, and not just for their principal residence, but also, for example, as a rental property or an Airbnb or like if they want to open up an office space. Like I do have a passion for that type of stuff, but where it's really at is land for me.
Yeah, and that's where your passion is.
100%.
For sure.
Exactly.
Love that. And so going on the Airbnb side, I saw you posting something that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's your you know, your feedback on that when it comes to people who are like a little bit hesitant with Airbnbs versus, you know, monthly rentals and stuff like that?
So here are the pros to Airbnb versus rental. So with a long-term rental, you gotta remember, in Ontario, like the landlords have no rights. The tenants have all the rights. For example, like a tenant can stay in there without paying for like 6 months without being evicted.
Yeah.
They can damage the
Those are the laws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can damage the property, and you will have no way to go check out what's going on for those 6 months.
Yeah.
And then when they leave, they're not even going to be the ones paying for the freaking thing.
It's the government.
Right? Yeah. So there's a lot of risks to it, and you're also like your cap rate for a month-to-month standard rental is not going to be nearly as good.
For sure.
Whereas with an Airbnb, you're renting for an extremely high price on a per night or per week or per weekend.
Yeah.
For one, the property is always going to be in amazing condition because it's constantly being cleaned.
Yeah.
It's really less liability in terms of like the scarcity of having one tenant versus multiple because it's constant rotation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna stay in your Airbnb for 6 months straight while not paying. Like no, you're like that's
very unlikely.
It's impossible for it to happen. You just kick them out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's another big one.
Cool.
And then the return on investment is amazing. Like if you're getting a proper Airbnb, the return on investment minimum should be like 25% is what I'm usually looking for.
Okay.
I think it's a great space to be in. It's like the cash flow is amazing.
For sure.
And you can scale really well through an Airbnb without even having to own, right? So there's the arbitrage method.
Yeah.
There's the co-hosting method where you're not even actually signing up on the arbitrage or on the ownership. You're just the property manager, right? Helping like manage the property and the Airbnb. So that's another space that I'm getting into with one of my business partners, Liam.
Cool.
So stay tuned for that one.
Nice.
Maybe we can come on another episode and talk about that as well.
For sure. That'd be awesome. And so tell me, Mason, when it comes to working with other real estate agents and realtors all over Canada and so forth, maybe even international, I'm not sure how that works, to be honest with you, with the laws and so forth. But what's the key to working with a realtor, you know, that you're working together with buying or selling? Is it something that is looked at as good or bad, positive, negative?
So some realtors, for them it's like them against the world type of thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of
them or no one type thing.
So there's a lot of realtors that don't like to collaborate per se, or don't want to just refer out just because, you know, they want all the money type of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, for example, if it's in another country or another province, a referral is the best you're gonna get.
Yeah.
But some people will be like they'll try to get a listing up in like Sault Ste. Marie. You can't even go there type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Collaborating with realtors is the best way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about that. For example, like Andrew Perry, love to collaborate on stuff with him.
Cool.
Matt Gampoli, like there's a lot of great guys where it's just the more the merrier. If you guys can all help each other in some way, then there's going to be money to be had at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm a really big believer on it, especially in the commercial realm.
Yeah.
If you have a really good group of a couple of guys around you, there's like you can take off.
For sure. That's awesome. Cool. So I kind of want to go into now a little bit about like the personal side of you when it comes to what the people around you thought at your age getting into real estate. So what did your friends think? So
everyone kind of has like a little bit of doubt per se in the beginning, right? Because you know you're young. They're like, they're like, oh, like, you know, we'll see how he does type of thing, or maybe we'll just piggyback off of his dad type of thing, right? So that was like my point where I was like, I need to prove all you motherfuckers wrong, right? I did the same thing in boxing, right? Like I was the kid to go for lunch. Like during lunchtime, I'd go for a run. Like I was that type of kid.
Cool.
Or I just wanted to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened in real estate, right? So obviously, you have your ups and downs and everything like that, but people have their doubts, but it just fired me up, right?
For sure.
My family, on the other hand,
sure.
My grandparents, aunts, and uncles, so supportive. Just absolute cheerleaders in my corner, which is cool.
Wow.
So, like, that was a big one to just keep me going and everything, especially my mom and my dad.
Awesome.
So that was great.
A lot of support.
And then, exactly. A lot of support.
You need that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they start talking to different people and different family members. So then, then it starts to get a buzz, and then plus the social media. So eventually things just kind of, eventually, like, now it's like, it's great. Like, everyone supports me. Obviously,
Nice.
you know, everyone has their haters, right?
Yeah.
But I've been very fortunate enough to have a lot of great support, and then from other people too, right? Like, for example, Nick or Gina, a lot of support there, and vice versa, right? So,
for sure, that's awesome. I think the more the merrier.
100%, 100%, yeah. Like, if you can't support someone who's just starting off, right? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You might be a millionaire in 2 years from now. You might be a billionaire in 5 years from now. Like, you don't know where any of us are gonna go, because that's the beauty about being young is anyone who says that they're trying to start something, because a lot of people come talk to me now because I'm younger and I'm up and coming, which is great. So now when people come to me for advice, I'm like just go all in. If it makes sense, like fully do it. So everyone comes to me with different ideas and stuff, and I'm like, I'll support you. I'll give you shout outs. I'll do this. I'll do that. No problem. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to collaborate in the future, because I'm all about, like, if there's a partnership to be had for something, sign me up. If there's money to be had, or there's some type of growth or value,
for sure,
100%, I'd be stupid not to. And it goes both ways.
For sure, definitely.
Right? Yeah,
phone goes both ways.
100%.
And so tell me, bro, with the media side of it, you know, a lot of realtors are now stepping into that world who haven't before, because of their age or so forth. But someone, I know you for sure, like, we've grown up with that, right? So what's your take on how important that is moving forward with the real estate stuff?
Oh, it's huge. So like, there's a lot of kids like who are always on social media, but a lot of them aren't good on social media. Right? So I've been fortunate enough where, you know, I had like the cringy upbringing as a kid, like always trying to pose for boxing and stuff like that.
Cool.
So I went through the trauma of like not knowing how to brand myself, or or not posting the best stuff, to like understanding like what's the algorithm gonna like, or what are people like, what are they gonna get
engaged to see and stuff.
Exactly, what's gonna get the best engagement, and then what's the best way to present myself. And that was just through trial and error. I think it's just still the same thing with people our age, or for the older people just trying to catch up. Because social media is great. You can leverage it, but if you don't know what you're doing, then it's gonna do more harm than good. But you're only gonna know what you're doing if you're just doing more of it. So for someone just trying to get into the space on social media, like, you gotta go 100% into it, and see what other people are doing. Like, there's a time where, like, for example, my first couple months, where at least 2 hours a day I would like look at people's posts.
No way.
I'd really analyze what they're doing. Like, I'd count how many videos,
the seconds, the times, everything.
Exactly.
Wow.
I count how many videos before there was a picture. Or vice versa, right? Because right now, like, videos where
the reels and stuff is where it's at.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
And then if you all the top guys' bios, seeing like, okay, how much is in there? Like, what's this? Like, what's this? What's that?
Is it short? Is there a link?
Exactly. I'd see their whole thing on, like, okay, what are the color schemes? Are they sticking to a theme? Are they not sticking to a theme? Like, how much lifestyle is mixed in? Like, I'm a firm believer on your business page and personal should be mixed.
For sure.
The reason being is because no one wants to just see the corporate side of you.
Right? Like, it shows like a bit of a fake.
It's stiff. It's cold. Like, show the other side of you. Like, show the fun side. Show the soft side. Right? Like people want to see both. So that's another piece of advice for social media. Like, show people both sides of you.
Awesome.
Because if you don't, like, they're not gonna know who the hell you are.
Exactly.
Right?
Agreed. And that's where they get the trust from at the end of the day.
Exactly. Like your social media is a resume. Majority of people in this day and age, before they look on realtor.ca for reviews, or Google, maybe Google, but not even. If they see your name and they've debated on working with you, the first thing they go to is Instagram, or if they're really old, or like some immigrant Portuguese woman, like they're or Italian or something, right? Like, they're like, maybe they'll look at your Facebook, but even that, like, that right there is your resume. Like,
that's
like,
the impression.
Those are like, that's your direct resume to be like, here, this is what I do. You like it or not. And that's it. Like, you don't, like, people that don't like you, you don't want to work with those people anyway. So if you show yourself and show what you're about, you're going to attract people that want to work with you, and then people that want to work with you are people you're going to get along with. Like, there's, like, I've had clients in the past where, you know, I'm trying to, like, force stuff to happen, and I'm just like, why am I doing this? When now it's just like, I don't let stuff come to me. Like, I'm hustling still, but I'm like hustling in a different way where it's natural. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take someone out for coffee. Right? Like, we'll hit it off. if there's something to be had from that coffee, great. If there's not, either their friend or their family member or like something will always
down.
Something always trickles down. So every conversation you have to every person, like even if it's like the smallest sentence, should like you gotta put in that you're a realtor, or that or like you can help them, or just let people know I'm a realtor. Like tell your family, tell your friends. Like I've got a lot of business from buddies' parents.
Word of mouth.
Exactly, just from word of mouth, and then you incentivize them or whatever, right? And that's the way you'll build yourself and you'll build trust, is by getting to their parents.
Yeah.
So another way to do it, to cater to people at a young age, that I recommend as well, as seminars.
Okay.
So
that's a new thing.
So we did a seminar in the past. It's about 30 people at a brokerage in our seminar room.
Okay.
And we had like a couple kids there, but more so we tapped into their parents.
Got it.
Right? Because
smart.
No one our age, for the most part, or at least like your average like Tom, Dick, and Harry, and like our age, like they're not buying, but their parents are.
For sure.
And you don't know if their parents are going to be like some big developer or investor or whatever, right? Like you have no idea who their parents are until you really get in there.
For sure.
Right? And if you can tap into that, you can tap into anything.
To a whole nother.
So what you do is you say, okay, we're gonna host a first time home buyer seminar. Okay, so that's for the kids, but then you add that second chain to it, where it's like, this is also gonna be good for parents. You know what I mean? Because on how to set your kids up for success in the real estate game. Because a lot of people won't be able to buy a home for like a very long time, based off where things are going.
Yeah.
Right. And I think things are gonna get more and more expensive for Toronto, for example.
Okay.
We're gonna be not at Manhattan prices, but we're gonna be getting up there. Like we'll be at 3,000 per square foot. Yeah, right now we're about like 16, 17 in certain areas, right? Yeah. So like this is gonna be tough for people wanting to be in this certain like big area, the GTA, right? Like there's only so much space.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. And I also think, do you think like with that, I've been hearing a lot of people who are moving out of the province now.
Yeah.
Like Calgary and stuff like that.
Yeah, Calgary's the big one. A lot of people going there. GSB Luxury Homes, shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's running a crazy real estate team over there.
Okay.
He's with EXP, so they got a good group there, and I feel like the market there is kind of taken off a little bit just because it's so cheap. So a lot of people are going there.
Just tearing in.
But now the other problem with Alberta, from what I'm kind of seeing, is they got so much pre-construction going on, but like it's almost like it's too much supply, like it's oversupply now. Saturated. So it's gonna get saturated with the supply, not the demand. Yeah. Because Alberta's great, but it's not like everyone's gonna be moving to Alberta now for what they're building. They're building thinking that like it's just gonna blow up. It's not there yet. Maybe it will be,
maybe
but
one day.
Yeah. So I see it like the biggest blow up is always just gonna be Toronto. Like that's just where it's at.
That's where it is.
Vancouver's another hot spot.
Yeah. For sure. Higher prices for sure.
But I think if you can stick to like just the bigger areas, like in the long run, you're gonna make money. Like Canada's a young country compared to some of the major cities in the U.S. Right? Yeah. Like you look at Manhattan versus Toronto's a baby. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So just imagine the growth that's gonna be happening.
For sure.
And the amount of money we have coming here from places like Dubai, China, India, all these like mega countries, like there's some serious money coming here.
For sure.
And we work with a lot of international guys, like I was saying, right? So for example, one thing that some of the Chinese guys tell me is that they're really cracking down on their high net worth people in China right now.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen is they're gonna be bringing a lot of money here. Yeah. And there's a lot of loopholes or tax incentives and stuff like that for rich people to come here and set up certain things to
liquid their assets.
Park their money, hang on to most of their money, and like play around with stuff. So you're gonna see a blow up here, like for sure, 100%. It's just gonna keep getting more expensive.
That's so true. It's unfortunate for the people our age who are trying to buy for a home, but
it is.
Hopefully the market will fix itself in 10 years from now.
Yeah, like I
give options at least somewhere, like not Toronto out.
Here's the thing is it's a constant rat race of like trying to play catch up, because there's already housing shortage. Okay, there's no inventory in the market right now. So like for example, offer dates are coming back. I have a listing coming up next week. We're doing an offer date.
Wow.
Like things are picking up again. And our third pre-construction projects have been paused. So what does that mean? That means in 2 years from now, like there's gonna be way more demand, because every 2 years usually that's the turnover for some projects, not all of them.
Okay.
Right. So imagine how much demand there's gonna be if you're already stopping at third, plus having like 500,000 immigrants coming here.
Yeah.
Right. And then about, let's say, if 150 come to the Toronto area.
Yeah.
that out of 150, that's another 30,000 homes needed.
Yeah.
Right. We don't have the infrastructure to be building 75,000 homes a year, but that's what we need to be done.
To start, yeah.
Right. And like we need about 1.3 million homes.
Yeah.
So we're not going to catch up because you need productivity and you need like a bunch of supply, but like the green belt thing, that's great and all, but
it helps, but it's not the full picture.
It's not the full picture for one, and like not like people need it. People want to move to where like things are happening, right? So if the infrastructure is not there in places like Timmins, people don't want to move to Timmins, right? There's a lot of land, but if they're not giving people incentives to live there and a good quality of life, then people aren't going to want to go there.
They're gonna have to drive 50 minutes to go get a fine job.
Exactly.
And go back.
That's why if you go to the States, you see all these sick places. You got Nashville, you got Dallas, you got all these different places there. Where in Canada it's you got maybe one decent spot in each province. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's you need to have more major employment hubs,
for sure,
just for high dense areas.
Built it. They got to build density.
100%.
Yeah, it's true. And so I'm learning a lot here, bro.
Yeah.
But tell me, when it comes to I kind of wanted to tap into your boxing stuff. Have you ever took things from your boxing routine or building that experience into the real estate world?
So I have an addictive personality with certain stuff, right? So everything to do with hard work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Only the good stuff. Only the good stuff. So being so addicted to boxing and training, I've been fucking training for 4 hours a day, while still being in school and stuff, right? So I do in the mornings, sometimes during lunch, and then after school.
Yeah.
That same effort, even during class, I was watching boxing. I didn't care. It was just programming my brain at all times. Every time I passed by a mirror, I shadow boxing. So that obsession, being 24 hours with my mindset in that space, is what brought it. It transferred really well when I went into real estate, because now my mind 24/7. It's on land deals and real estate and
zoning
and connecting. Connecting with people and stuff like that, right? So so that's what I'm doing 24/7 now. So instead of me watching boxing on my way to school or on my way to the office, now it's me calling people or listening to a podcast. Right? You have to constantly put yourself with that cap on 24/7. So that's why that's what I took from boxing the most. And then the hard work, the hustle, I got no problem
that just comes.
Yeah, I got no problem going deep and
for sure
digging something out.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Taking risks.
Exactly.
I think that's a big part of it for sure.
Oh yeah. I haven't been paid for a couple maybe a month or two now. Some people for some people that's it's so long. But if you're getting fat paychecks every now and then,
consistently,
you know what I mean?
It
you're
holds over.
Yeah, you're taking risks. But if you're smart about it, or if you're
can spend it all.
Exactly. Exactly. Being my age and just jumping right into it, and being your age is going to be jumping into it. That's a risk in itself. Because for some people with limiting beliefs, with a ceiling of achievement, set it right down low. You're not going to do well. So that's a risk, because you're setting yourself from not going to university to be a doctor or an engineer. I don't think I'm not a big believer in school unless you're going to be going into a profession like that, right? But if you're limiting yourself to what you can do and going into it, that's the risk. But if you have a vision, to just go to the moon, man. You're not taking a risk. You're taking the right step.
You have to. I think even I saw on your story a couple of days ago, you had that goal setting board with all the things your goals are. I think that's so important to do. The amount of times you hear just write your shit down. Write the shit you want to do down.
Exactly.
And it'll come to life.
Exactly. And I always so that board's split in two. So one of it's a bunch of photos of kind of what I see myself.
Your mindset is
my aesthetic and cool. My mindset and everything. And then on the other side is the affirmations. I don't post those ones. Those are more intense.
I saw on this side. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I did the same thing in boxing, right? I would type out my affirmations for my fights to be I have a razor sharp jab, or I'm impeccable, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tape it on the wall in my room. Go over that every single day and do vision and stuff like that. So I'm a big believer in programming your mind. So I do the exact same thing. I listen to those motivational speeches and stuff. I listen to the exact same one.
Wow.
Every other day to go into work, or I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm calling people. Wow. You just have to program your brain, get yourself in the right mindset, because there's only up until I say like this year, like it's really stepped it up.
Yeah.
Before, I was trying to pick up the pieces, being young, like trying to like
learn it more before you put yourself out. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So, but still doing well at the time.
Yeah.
Like I was fortunate enough where I was
just insane.
Like things were kind of spitballing a little bit, but now it's totally different. Now it's like this is like really all in. Like this is the identity. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anything other than this, it's just fluff.
For sure.
Right. So you got to really dive in.
100%. Yeah. And I think doing it at this age is insane. Like there's a lot of people at our ages that look at this and are kind of stuck into the, I don't want to call it bad because you do you at the end of the day, but they're stuck in the mindset of getting a stable job and a safety net and stuff like that.
And it's a rat race, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a like we've been put in school to go to school.
Yeah.
Like learn from someone who's like not exactly what the dream is to be. Maybe for some people amazing, but if you're someone who wants to be a millionaire, like don't take advice from someone who's not a millionaire. You're like, you know what I mean? If anyone, like if you talk to any millionaire, because I talk to a lot, they will all say the same thing, and they're big on mindset. They're big on just getting out there and taking risks, and they go against the herd.
Everything.
You know what I mean? Like if everyone's going this way, they're going that way,
100%.
and that's 100% true.
Yeah.
Everyone's going for lunch, eating pizza. I'm going for a run.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's always been engraved.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, like I don't know. If you're for any young person like just wanting to make millions, it doesn't have to be real estate.
Yeah, no. Like there's many different outlets.
Like you could like let's say if it's just Airbnb property management.
Yeah.
Or if it's gonna be like if you want to be a stock god, like go ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to do forex, like whatever it's gonna be, you just got to do it, and you got to do it well, and you got to make that your craft. If it's not gonna be 100% of you, you're never gonna do well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like all those TikToks, man. Like if you actually really listen to them, you're like, shit, it's kind of true.
It is.
Like,
it is
straight up.
As much as there's so many of them.
Yeah, like
it is true.
Like people are like, it's just kind of cringy or whatever. But or some people think like a lot of it's just like BS. But
it's not.
If you really just get in there, man, and you fucking go all and you connect with the right people.
The amount of them I saved too.
Yeah, man. like that whole like Miami lifestyle and private jets and stuff like. Yeah. It's so attainable. You just really got to put yourself there.
Yeah.
That's it.
If that's something you want, you just got to do it.
Yeah. The first million's always the hardest.
Exactly.
After that, private lend money, you do this, you do that, like you can really blow up.
Mortgages, stuff like that.
Anything, man.
Yeah. It's true. It's awesome. So tell me, Mason, in 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Oh, man.
Paint the picture, bro.
10 years from now.
Yeah.
It's like I already know what it is, but I'm just trying to figure out like what's the best way to explain it.
To explain it, to show the vision.
So obviously, I'm only gonna be doing land stuff anyways, like shortly, but I'll still be doing that. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I want to be developing. Right now, I'm already going into that space with one of my other buddies. I'm kind of like a consultant / future partner for raising money and stuff. So I want to become like a top developer in the space.
For sure.
I still want to do the Airbnb stuff, but I want to leverage other people to do it for me.
Cool.
The goal on that would be, like in 10 years, like minimum, like 250 a month, like minimum.
Yeah.
We want to be scaling in places like Miami, Naples, Fort Lauderdale, the Keys.
The opportunity is big.
Exactly, Arizona, Dallas. Like we want to be in those types of markets.
Yep.
House, I already have one, but I want to have another one, like a huge one, a bunch of other investment properties.
Cool.
And then the goal for commissions a year. Depends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Could be 2 million, could be 3 million, could be 1.
Cool.
Overall, just to be, like, honestly, semi-retired.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah. Live your life.
Yeah. I would just travel, man.
Yeah. That's the goal.
And
there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
And in 2 years, I'm on track to do a lot of these things.
Cool.
Like we're launching our first Airbnb in Mississauga.
Nice.
And we're gonna be grabbing up at least 3 in Toronto.
Cool.
Those ones will be arbitrage.
Nice.
And then from there we're going like right down to Florida, like all this year.
Yeah.
So we're already on track with that type of stuff.
Cool.
The commercial stuff already coming in line, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then the development stuff, we got a project lined up that I'll be involved in.
Cool.
And this is all stuff just with my network, like no piggybacking or anything like that, which is kind of nice.
That's hustle, man.
That's it, man.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, and then travel. Like I want to be like if I could be in Miami for like months at a time, or Portugal, or
be able to
travel different areas. You know what I mean? Like that would be all like like the goal while still running my business. You can sell land anywhere. Like I could do it. Like I could do a deal at my desk. Like like I did a deal. I don't even like. I've never even driven to the site.
Been there.
You know what I mean, right? So like you can still do what I'm doing like anywhere for the most part.
Taking the level of trust of that too to someone.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Like it's always great to drive to the site. I didn't for that one, so you don't always have to, right?
Yeah.
So like that's the space I want to be in for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Some private equity stuff as well.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. Cool. And then I guess like one of our biggest questions we have, bro, is obviously about the lifestyle balance. So I want to know from you your take or advice or however you put it in the sense of your balance between being a real estate agent or investing and so forth and towards your personal life. Yeah,
so there is no balance. Like there really isn't. Like people like try to make there be a balance, but like there really isn't one, at least for me.
Okay, so that's fair. That's your opinion, bro.
So when I'm in that realtor space or that realtor mindset, like it's always still gonna be there. I'd be partying with a bunch of my buddies and stuff, like great, but when I'm there and I'm partying,
you're thinking
at the end of the day, there's still gonna be a business card being handed out to someone, or there's still gonna be a conversation about something.
Okay.
Right, like I've had some like great times going clubbing, and then the next day like we're waking up and we're talking about like a big deal that could happen, right? And now with my social space, I'm trying to connect with people that are like bigger than me, got more money than me, or smarter than me, or well connected, like because those are the people you want to be around. If you're just around all the same people are like at your level or whatever, right? Like you guys can only go so far, but if you connect with the other people that can help bring you and your circle up, then do that, right? So now when I go out with people, there's no balance. I'm going out with people for a reason, not to get something from them, but how can we give something to each other? How can we make each other better?
Yeah, benefit each other.
Exactly. Like I could still be partying, but we're still going to be talking about something that's going to help us.
Awesome.
Right? Whether it's me or you or both of us at the same time, great.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When it comes to the family stuff, I always got to make time. Been a little bit better at it recently. Obviously, when things get really
go
busy,
up and down.
Exactly, right?
It fluctuates.
But yeah, man, it's counteractive. Like
for sure,
it's always back and forth. It's highs and lows. But the biggest thing is you gotta make time for yourself.
Yeah.
To just perform, right? So if you're not having that little bit of health balance in terms of, you know, like for example, every morning I do like the full like wellness routine. So meditate, journal, affirmations.
5-minute journal.
5-minute journal, highly recommend. Work out, either I'll do in the morning or I'll do it at night. But usually that's the stuff I stick to.
Okay.
If you can do that, like that's your balance, because everything else has to be a grind. And even with the social life, it's still a grind. Because you're talking to people all day long, trying to get stuff done. You think after work I want to still talk to people? No, but
you're drained, but you still do it.
You don't want to be like a hermit in your house. You still got to get out there.
Not that 9 to 5 clock out.
Exactly. So I'm still like going to the club or going out for dinners and doing this, or going to certain like lounges and stuff like that, because like
you never know.
Like you're gonna get more deals done from hanging out with people on the golf course in a lounge than you are from sitting at home cold calling. An email, I guarantee you.
100%.
Right? Like this game is networking, face to face. Like don't bother cold calling and door knocking. Like, well, that's a lie. Still do that stuff.
For sure.
Still do that.
It definitely works. It's just there's other ways of doing that probably better.
It'll work 1 in 300. What'll really work is 1 in 60 talking to people that you already know. Like people neglect their own sphere of influence, and they just try to go straight to the other business. That's a whole database of people that you could be tapping into, whether that's for the residential or commercial. It's a whole database.
And you probably know them better too, because they're in your own.
You know them, they know you. You probably have their contact already. And there's a certain type of trust for you guys to even still like each other. Right. So tap into that. Because if it's not them, it's going to be someone else they know. And if it's not someone else they know,
someone else.
At least your name's going to be there, and it might be someone else. Exactly. So as a new realtor. You should be calling every single person you know before calling anyone else.
Love that.
That's the biggest thing.
Cool.
Like, because and any real estate coach that's really good will tell you that. Like, don't bother. You like cold call and be like, hey, this is my name, blah blah blah.
Damn.
No, they're not interested. No, call them, because you can be like, hey, how are you? What's new? How's the family? What you been up to? Oh, by the way, I'm in real estate now. If there's anything you need this year, let me know. Oh, no problem. Do you know of anyone who might be? That's it. That's a script. Awesome. If not, hang up. Connect with them 2 months later.
Nick, you write that down?
like that's what you do.
It's true.
Right? It's true. And a book for new people to be reading if they want to get into this space. like every realtor reads this, but if you actually implement what it does on the residential side, yeah, you'll do well. Like, it's just a proven fact. Like, we see it like that, you'll do well.
Yeah.
And that's called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. Like, just like read it a couple times. Don't read it just once, because you want to fully understand it.
From it and understand more.
Get more into it. And obviously, I'm from Keller Williams, so I drink the Kool-Aid and all that stuff. But like, really, they're like, the model works.
Yeah.
The way you generate your leads and stuff like that, that's up to you.
Yeah.
If you can generate your leads and from your sphere or whatever, fantastic. But if you're not implementing those models that they have there, then you're only going to go so far. So implement that stuff if you're going to in the residential world, because those systems, like, I was twiddling my thumbs trying to figure out systems.
Yeah.
I could just open up that book and be like, holy shit, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And like that's your day-to-day stuff. Like, even with my real estate coach, like, she's not from Keller Williams. Like, she's got no
affiliation with it.
No, nothing. Okay. And like, for example, when I say my goal in terms of money for the year is, like, let's just throw a number, like $1 million.
Yeah.
Like, we will break it down right to, like,
strategize the whole number.
Like, how many leads, how many appointments, this and that.
Yeah.
Based off of like that book's model, for example.
Wow.
Right. So like, you just really like, don't reinvent the wheel right away. 100%. Be yourself.
Yep.
While using the wheel, and then figure out from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you keep reinventing the wheel, you're like, that's what I was doing for 6 months, trying to twiddle my thumbs.
Yeah.
I was trying to reinvent something. Like, could have just did something that already worked.
100%.
And then the same win for my commercial now.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, like, what's the best way to do this. So I was like calling people, trying to figure out, what's the best way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I just looked back at my dad and I was like, why don't I just try to do what he's doing, which is just get a really good, like, a solid group of like 3 to 5 like realtors and a couple developers in your back pocket. So for example, one of my developers, I'm a good friend with him, that's what got me doing stuff with.
Cool.
Got a couple other guys in the space, and then I got a solid group of like really connected realtors.
Cool.
And that's that's what it did. I just took what he did and I did it with a different group of people, and that's what allowed me to kind of branch off now, right? So just
don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, don't reinvent the wheel, man. Just be you and see what else, like, what the other successful people are doing.
For sure. Love it. Love it.
That's my advice, man.
Love it. Well, I mean, hey, we'd love to have you on in a year. I'm sure, I don't even want to know. It's going to be insane where you are in a year from now. So it'd be cool to talk about it.
For sure.
But you're welcome anytime, bro. And I'm sure this conversation will go farther than just a podcast.
Oh, 100%. We're going to get some deals done up here.
100%.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.